CBS Thursday.
What sin did she die for?
Who would strangle someone with a rosary?
A new CSI, then
Help me.
America's football hero
He's the top college quarterback in the country.
So he can't be a rapist?
versus LA's toughest DAs.
Let the games begin.
Say we kick his ass.
Now you're talking.
Your boys are going down.
A new shark after a new CSI Thursday. Could you pass a driving test in India? A new amazing race tonight after 60 Minutes.
NFL Sunday Ticket brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. Passion for excellence.
The wheel goes round and round, we keep it moving, and they don't slow down. The wheel goes round and round, we keep it moving.
Round and round.
The wheel goes round and round, keep it moving.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. The wheel goes round and round, round and round, goes round and round.
He's got nothing but open field ahead of him.
You spent all Sunday watching games on the tube,
Spent all Sunday watching games on the tube.
but you missed 85 and there was nothing you could do.
Nothing for you to do.
So here's a suggestion from a real good friend. You can check out the games on the NFLN.
NFL Replay. The 4 best games from Sunday, replayed on NFL Network with bonus material. Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 games per night.
NFL Replay
Play.
on the NFL Network.
Joe, you're glad we got the Durango, right?
Of course.
And you liked all the money we saved when we bought it, right?
Got us a bigger boat.
Oh, and how about the Hemi engine and the DVD player and the hands-free cell? Then why won't you use the navigation system?
I'm not lost.
Dodge Durango.
This is starting to look familiar.
It's a lot of great stuff for a great price.
Right now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 60 months on 2006 Dodge Durango. Hurry, offer ends soon.
NFL Network means football 24/7 with a great new lineup of shows. NFL Game Day. Deion Sanders and Steve Mariucci join Rich Eisen for the best highlights of every NFL game. NFL Replay. Re-airs of the week's 4 best games. NFL Total Access. Marshall Falk joins the crew for coverage of all 32 teams. And this fall, NFL Network has live NFL games. Bryant Gumbel and Chris Collinsworth call the action. Only on NFL Network.
La pasión por el fútbol americano comienza con los niños. El programa NFL Youth les brinda la oportunidad de aprender jugando. Un deporte al alcance de todos.
La pasión comienza contigo.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
And welcome back to our New York studios and the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown, along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, and Boomer Esiason. The score at the half, well, Washington. And you know what? Tennessee certainly has had their number, winning 2 out of the last 3. And Dallas, my goodness, not much happening there at all. Let's go to the highlights, starting first with Dan.
And Drew Bledsoe struggling so far. Not a whole lot going on offensively. He gets sacked by C.C. Brown. 10-yard loss there. Then Drew Bledsoe on 3rd down overthrows Terry Glenn. And do we have a T.O. sighting? He's making a big impact in this game. 1 catch, 14 yards.
Conspiracy theory.
Oh, there's a conspiracy. Not a lot going on in this game, Jay.
Dan, would you throw to him?
If he was open.
If he was going to get open there, right? Shannon, Tennessee, Washington.
And CP, Clint Portis of the Redskins, takes this ball 10 yards, gets downhill. He's in the end zone, 7-3 early Redskins. And Mark Brunell looks for Chris Cooley. He finds it. 24-yard touchdown. They're up 14-3. And the Titans comes back. Vince Young, Brandon Jones, 3-yard TD pass. 14-13 at the half, JB.
Titans have won 2 of the last 3 meetings with Washington. Philadelphia and the Saints. Boy, the Saints, Boomer.
Hey, wonder how we get ready here today on the NFL today? Just like this. Just like Charles Grant. I'm smacking Dan Marino around before the show, and here comes Drew Brees. He's going to find who other than Joe Horn. 10-0 right here. New Orleans is up on top, and then Lito Shepard's going to come down with an interception, poorly thrown ball by Drew Brees. He's going to take it back to the 29-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. And then right before the end of the half, Marcus Colston from Hofstra, he goes in, and the New Orleans Saints are laying it on the Eagles 17-3.
Eagles with the #1 offense in the league with only 3 points at the half. Dan, Giants at the Falcons.
And Eli Manning early in this game, you hate this when you're a quarterback. Ball gets tipped, and it's intercepted by Demario Williams. He brings it back to the 21-yard line of the Giants. And then there's a muffed handoff here between Michael Vick, Warwick Dunn, Sam Madison comes up with that turnover. Then Michael Vick, he's a guy that leads the league in big runs over 20 yards when nothing's happening in the pocket. Take off Michael, make it happen, touchdown. That puts the Falcons up.
Shannon, what'd you say? How did they go from containing him to a flip in the end zone?
Went from a sack to a tumble in the end zone.
Unbelievable. Boomer, Cincinnati at Tampa Bay.
Well, how about Bruce Gradkowski? He's going to pull the face mask of Troy Dames here after an interception, but the interception was ruled null and void, but that was tacked on after the play with Carson Palmer. How about this catch by TJ Houshmandzadeh? Watch this in slow motion, guys. Look how high he goes, gets it at his highest point, has the presence of mind to keep both feet in bounds. What a nice play. 7-0 Bengals almost at halftime.
Cincinnati has won 8 straight against NFC opponents. Shannon, Carolina at Baltimore.
Ravens quarterback Steve McNair is going to get sacked by Michael Rucker and Chris Draft. He would leave slight concussion. In comes Kyle Bowler. He's looking for who? Oh, he doesn't find Derek Mason, but Mark Clayton's right there, just the way they drew it up in the meeting room. But a more conventional, Jake DeLone, up top, Drew Carter, down below, 42-yard TD, puts him up, and that's where we are in the half, 13-7.
Hey, Boomer, were you chuckling because that's Shannon's guy, Kyle Bowler? Is that the man?
He loves Kyle Bowler, just like Mark Brunell.
All right, Dan.
And Hasselbeck, he finds new acquisition Deion Branch for his first touch of the year for the Seahawks. Then Steven Jackson, he pounds in. The guy leads the league in yards gained from scrimmage. Big guy there making a touchdown. Then Mark Bolger, great afternoon. Second touchdown here to Torrey Holt. He's 15 for 20, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mark Bolger's looking smooth in this one.
At last check, Wayne Fiddleman said 234 pass attempts with no picks. All right, Bills, Lions, Shannon.
Kevin End Zone Jones gives him an early 10-0 lead. But J.P. Lawson is about to get sacked. Go this way. Nope, I think I'll run over here. And I'll throw this ball as far as I can. Roscoe Parrish is there, 44-yard TD. They're right back in at 10-7. But here, John Kittner looking for the singing lion, Roy Williams. 28-yard TD. Only 23 points, Roy, from 40.
As we get ready to send you back to your games, I have to turn. Hey, Shannon.
What does he sing?
Shannon, I know Dan and Boomer want to know, are you more convinced about Mark Brunell now?
No.
Back to the second half of your games. Back here in New York, I'm James Brown with the Capital One Update Show. Games coming up in a bit here. Kansas City at Pittsburgh, Miami at the New York Jets, and the Chargers will be taking on San Francisco. Tennessee is holding to a 3-point lead over the Washington Redskins in Landover, 25-22. We'll get you there in just a bit for that contest as we take a look at some of the highlights, fellas.
Yeah, you see Clinton Portis here gets the ball downhill, gets in the end zone, and now all of a sudden you got to get a 2-point conversion to get it tied up. Santana Moss did a great job, but the Redskins, for whatever reason, has not played very well today, and now you see Tennessee with an opportunity to come into Washington and steal this ball game.
I'll tell you what, if they lose this game in Washington, this is the disaster for Joe Gibbs and company. And Mark Brunell, you know, somehow you got to find the energy to get it back into the game and try to win this one.
Vince Young looking good, moving around, making a lot of plays.
Did they say something bad about Brunell?
That they did, but we're going to take you out to that game. Let's go join Don Criqui and Steve Berline.
The winless Titans lead by 3 at Washington. Vince Young has not thrown a pass in the last 2 drives since that ankle injury. 11 straight rushes, but now he's got 3rd down and 9. He's rolling out, bad ankle and all. He's calling his own number, and he slides to a halt, and they'll punt the ball. And the Redskins, without a timeout left, will get the ball back, looking to get in field goal range to possibly send this to overtime.
A good, safe play. I didn't expect Jeff Fisher to try and just run the ball up in there, but I also didn't expect him to put it on Vince Young to drop back and throw a pass out of the pocket. Let your big quarterback, your big athletic guy, get out there and try and do something with his feet. But a smart play by Vince Young to get down when he realized nothing was there.
Big down now, and back to return the punt is a guy who was returning punts for the Super Bowl champions last season, the Steelers. Antoine Randall L. And they wind the clock all the way down to 1:14 to play.
And final timeout, 30-second timeout.
So nobody has a timeout now.
Nobody has a timeout. And the Tennessee Titans, as we've stated, it's been over a year since they last won on the road, 8 straight games. And, you know, Don, you've got 2 teams right here that are absolutely desperate for a win. The Tennessee Titans, for obvious reasons, they haven't won yet this year. They don't want to go into their bye week on another loss. They want to win. They want to feel something positive going into that bye. But the Washington Redskins, Mark Brunell told us, you know, we've got to get back to 500. Because if you think about it, to go to 2-4 at this point, you've got to win 2 games in a row to get back to 500. And in the NFL, it's hard to win 1 game, much less 2 games in a row. You don't want to find yourself in that position this early in the season.
Greg Hentrick ready to punt the ball for Tennessee. Booms it.
Best punt of the day.
Longtime veteran from Notre Dame drives Antoine Randall L. back to his 16-yard line. So they had the long field to go. Now this week the Skins signed a new field goal kicker. John Hall's been injured. They IR'd him. And Nick Novak has been called up, a second-year player from Maryland. They probably have to get to at least the 35-yard line of the Titans. Try a 52-yarder, but that's a long way from the 35-yard line for Mark Brunell. He's back in his own end.
A long way. And I was down on the field before the game, and I saw Novak kicking, and he was comfortably making kicks from 51, 52 yards. So I think that without the wind blowing, this is good conditions to kick. That's got to be their goal for sure, is at least that 35-yard line. That'd make it a 53-yard kick. They've got plenty of time, no timeouts, but they've got to be definitely in 2-minute mode here.
The Redskins, after scoring touchdowns on their first 2 possessions today to take a 14-3 lead, have just 1 score in their last 10 possessions. Here's Brunell. They give him a lot of time. Lofts the ball downfield. It's intercepted. Lamont Thompson has it, and that will do it. The knockout punch is on as the Titans in celebration on the far sideline. And Tennessee gets off the schneid. They're going to Jeff Fisher. It's interesting. We met with him last night. He was almost like a guy that was on a win streak. He was so pumped for this game. And when we talked to Joe Gibbs on Friday, said, what do you think of Tennessee? He said, they can beat us. We've talked that over.
You know, and there's a lot of talk in Tennessee. There's actually websites set up talking about whether to keep Jeff Fisher or fire him. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to find, if they let him go, he's going to get snatched up in a hurry by somebody, because
he's not going anywhere.
I don't see him going anywhere.
They're in great cap shape for next year.
Now, I don't understand exactly why the Redskins did this, but you know, they did it for whatever reason, and the Titans have their first win, seemingly.
So now they'll just try to run it out. Our producer today for CBS Sports, Ross Schneiderman, director Andy Goldberg, associate producer Andy Kaplan. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petiti. Paul Evans, our statistician, as there is Jeff Fisher. He almost had the feeling he expected to win this game.
He was very confident yesterday, very upbeat, and that little signal he was making was the sign for the victory formation, which is the formation the Titans are in now, to take a knee. He doesn't get to do that very often these days.
Skins are powerless to stop the clock. And that will do it. Here come the very happy group of Titans and a very disappointed group of Redskins, who now go to 2-4 on the year, and a season they thought might be a Super Bowl year. Now for Steve Berline, this is Don Criqui. Glad you could be with us. 25-22, the Titans win as we go to James Brown in New York. JB.
All right, Don, so Tennessee moves into the win column with that victory over Washington. Tampa Bay looking to move into the win column right now, holding to a 1-point lead with 35 seconds left. Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon.
Rookie quarterback Bruce Gradkowski, as we welcome another audience down here to Tampa, has just thrown a touchdown pass that was ruled initially incomplete on the field. We're under 2 minutes, so it had to be reviewed upstairs. It was, and Mike Carey, our referee, said he had caught it. His feet were down. He crossed, and it was a touchdown reception. And the extra point makes it 14-13. Now Cincinnati has all 3 timeouts and 35 seconds on the 4th quarter clock with which to work.
Well, Kevin, really their only chance is a big return in the kicking game. You'd hope you can get the ball out
to the 40-yard line and give yourself a chance to throw a couple balls down the field, use some timeouts, and maybe get yourself in field goal range.
Kickoff from Matt Bryant. With the wind, Antonio Chapman is deep back for Cincinnati. Three yards deep, he'll take it out. And get out of bounds near the 27-yard line. Led over there by Rondé Barber of the Buccaneers, a 30-yard return. Carson Palmer will have 30 seconds with which to work, and again, 3 timeouts remaining. Buccaneers have blown a couple of fourth-quarter leads the last 2 games. Can they hold on here? Chapman is the 3rd receiver. Torrey Cox is the 5th Tampa Bay defensive back.
Kevin, they're going to keep everything in front of them now. They're going to play that 2-deep coverage and force Cincinnati to throw the ball underneath.
It's 1st and 10. That is caught by Hushmanzada. He was belted by Jermaine Phillips. It's a 19-yard pickup. He's to the 47-yard line. The clock is at 22 seconds, and a timeout has been taken by Cincinnati. They get a big gain, 2 timeouts remaining, 22 on the clock. The Bengals on the move, down by 1.
Well, just a great throw by Carson Palmer. Sees that 2 deep and sticks it right in there in between the seams.
In their last 2 games, the Buccaneers have lost fourth-quarter leads. Week 3 against Carolina. Panthers' John Casey had a 46-yard beauty with 7 seconds left. Then last week at New Orleans, Reggie Bush returns the punt 65 yards, giving the Saints a 24-21 win.
Well, they've had some heartbreaking losses. They have not been able to finish teams out in the fourth quarter. But John Gruden told us on Friday, hey, we're close. We're not that far away, and a big win like this could turn our season around.
5 in the secondary. Chapman, the 3rd receiver. The tight end, Stewart, is a 4th receiver. 1st and 10. Blitz on from Rice. Pass is incomplete, and Simeon Rice really altered the concentration, got up in the grill of Palmer.
Yeah, and they didn't even get a body on him. And that's, you just can't do that with Simeon Rice. He's your best pass rusher. A little confusion up there in the front. They brought some extra defenders inside, and it really freed up Simeon to get a free run at Carson Palmer.
Watson is in the backfield. Stewart is the tight end back there too, with Carson Palmer's 2nd down and 10. 18 seconds left. 2 timeouts remaining for Cincinnati. Here comes the blitz again. Palmer is down. Timeout Cincinnati. 10 seconds left. Bengals have a single timeout remaining. As we take you to our CBS studios in New York with JB.
Hey, Kevin, the New Orleans Saints won 3 games all of last year. Here, winning this one in the last 3 seconds of the game, a 31-yard field goal by John Carney, knocking off the Eagles. The Saints move to 5-1. Philly drops to 4-2. Back to Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon.
Terrific finish there, JB. We're having a terrific finish here in Tampa.
Kevin, Monty Kiff, the defensive coordinator of the Buccaneers, he's just not going to sit back. He's pressured Carson Palmer 2 plays in a row. You got to pick your poison. Either you sit back and you let Carson Palmer have some time throwing the ball downfield, or you take your chances and you bring the blitz. And that's what Monty Kiffin has done twice. Now I would anticipate in this situation, maybe laying back and playing coverage.
It's 3rd and 18. 13 seconds remaining. They've stuck a little bit of time on the clock. Chapman is the 3rd receiver. That is caught. Hushmanzada makes the grab. Tackled by Barber. 43-yard line and close to a 1st down. Timeout taken. The final timeout burned by Cincinnati. Back to JB in our New York studios.
And what Pittsburgh feels is a must-win game. Kevin, take a look here. Willie Parker capping a 7-play, 73-yard drive with that 3-yard run. That happened on the opening drive. Pittsburgh taking the lead, and many of you will see this game. Pittsburgh up 7-0. Kevin and Rich.
All right, thank you, JB.
Kevin, Carson Palmer has such command of this offense in the situations. When you watch him, his throws, he makes a throw, and then you see him start taking off downfield, trying to find an official and getting a timeout. The players understand what's going on around him. He's got a great understanding of all the situations.
Rich, with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to try a field goal. Now, in pregame warm-ups, Graham was making them from 51. He missed twice from 53. This will be a 62-yard try. There is a crosswind.
And Kevin, he's got enough leg. I mean, I've watched his kickoffs today. It's not unrealistic to think that he can't make this.
62-yard field goal for the win. No way. The winless Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winless no more. A winning touchdown pass by their rookie quarterback, Bruce Gronkowski. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Tampa.